Hello everyone, welcome to my channel again. Today I'm going to make a quick tutorial about how to use the Tyrannical arrow, which is one spell that is pretty much broken and a lot of people have been using it lately, mostly in this year. It became a trend. So maybe I'm a bit late to make this tutorial since I started playing this spell like 1 year ago. But yeah, maybe it's not late for new players or for people who want to make a cra just to have fun and to do new stuff. So the content for today will be I'm going to show you my set, my stats, playstyle, and in the Kanohe I'm going to show you how to use it basically in my combinations so you can get the maximum potential for the Tyrannical arrow, and hopefully you will learn a lot and you will like it. Let's go. So characteristics and set. So you can see my characteristics. I have 12 AP, 6 MP, 6 range. This set is pretty much complete because you can see that I have 1266, which is awesome for a crown. Also I have almost 100 agility, almost 100 intelligence, and 150 power. Um, this set is pretty nice because you will combine a lot of spells. It's pretty versatile as well because you can play actually a lot of spells and you will never have like a problem to hit, which happens with other sets. For example, is strength that if you don't really have sight, you are wasting one turn. With this one, in the worst scenario, you only use the plugin arrow, which is going to hit without line of sight, and you're going to do good damage still. Also, you can see here, this set has something which is also very nice, which is the AP reduction. Normally, people who play this set, they play with another class to make combination with a Tyrannical arrow, and with AP reduction to use it in some cases that they just need to save the fight or something, or they want to cancel a turn of a lethal attack of an enemy. Useful this AP reduction. You can either choose not play with it, it's always optional, but my recommendation is to play with it because it's always nice. Resistances, as you can see, is quite tanky. Resistances are quite high. The only one that is okay, there are two that are not that high, that is neutral and fire, but fire is not that low. It's 27, which is pretty decent, and neutral, well, you don't find that often neutral enemies, unless that they are a sacred playing with this new blade that is from the Pandawan island. Anyway, okay, my set. So as you can see here, I have a combination between two sets, actually three sets, which is the Vortex set, Free Summer, and the Barbaric. Also, besides that, I play with the Archon's Bow, a Select Shield, which gives me power, dodge, and range damage, pretty good. This bow gives me intelligence, power, fire, and air damage, a lot of resistances, and one range. Pretty cool. Also notice that this set isn't minus critical. Why? Because we don't really need criticals. This is flat damage, and also the base damage is not bad, so you will not need critical hits. Showing the set, so I'm going to. So the amulet. My amulet is exo range and exo to earth resistance. We don't really need the exo range. There are a lot of sets that you can use, so I'm using mostly this one because of the resistances, because I had these parts before, so I didn't bother buying more stuff. I sometimes use what I already have, and that is not a problem as long as you are still with Binance stats. I have the Vortex Hood, Barbaric Rings, XOAP and MP, Prismatic Cloak. In this case I have a reduction Exomage, um, Vortex Bell, Vortex Clocks, my mount and play, yeah, the AP and 30 AP reduction, pretty nice. Also, maybe sometimes play the initiative one if you want to start first or your team lacks of initiative. Also pretty cool. Dofus, I'm playing Ivory Dofus for the resistance as well and to survive a bit more. Okra and Bulbous, very important to play with those if you want to have more damage, and with 13 IP you are going to hit a lot. The difference is a lot because of the combination between the Tyrannical Arrow, Repulsive, and Retreat. Those three are going to make your damage crazy. Uh, if you want, you can play either Cloudy if you want to rush in some turns, and maybe the turns where you are not full damage, you can do a reduction, which is what I do mostly, but you can also play Ice if you want just to have more flat damage, and that is also pretty okay. I will play Cloudy. Crimson, this is one in line because of the power, and yeah, the hits will increase your damage as well. And I played the Shiny. This is also up to you. If you are playing 1 versus 1, maybe play the Coco, or you can also play the Sparkling. I played this one mostly for 3 versus 3 because yeah, the percent is important. As you know, the Cross are quite weak in the team, so we get killed very easily. So yeah, just have your present and you will be pretty good. Alright, the spells. Yeah, I have the bow here, which we don't really use. But I just hide here because it's my standard of how I organize my spells. But anyway, fulminating arrow. This one is super nice because it will bounce on the beacon, and if there are like 5 enemies together, you will hit a lot of damage because the damage will increase. Concentration are important to combine with the tactical beacon, and also sometimes with the tyrannical. Retreat, essential, plugin arrow. Yeah, I use this one because, as I already mentioned, sometimes you have line of sight, so use it. I play the boring arrow just because sometimes when I want to rush, I charge this one, and then when it's in the surface state, it is pretty good, and it's only a 3 APS spell. Boa skill, distance shooting, maybe if the map is small, absolute acuteness. If you want to rush, play Sentinel. I prefer to play Boa skill unless that I am playing Alliance versus Alliance, where I always rush. So you can see one of my videos where I just killed 2 guys using plus 4 AP and Sentinel with a set similar to this, and the damage was crazy. Important to play also Recall because you don't really need the critical shooting as we mentioned. Striking arrow for removing the AP, reprisal, crushing arrow because it's a good one to have to avoid enemy jumping, and also cause a lot of damage on straight AP, so hide. Paralyzing to remove AP as well, super important because you can remove AP in mass. Repulsive, we already mentioned this one, to combine with retreat and tyrannical. I don't really need this weapon skill, so I may just remove it. And the lashing arrow, which also a good one to play with. You could also use with travel arrow, but I don't really recommend it because you will cause damage with this one and the tyrannical, so use it. And also erosion, which is super nice. And I just have 2 summons here. I may replace this with a release and coward, so but that is up to you. These are the spells base, so let's go. I'm going to show you how we use it. Alright, so let's start the fight. Yeah, bear in mind that the Tyrannical Arrow, mostly the spells that you are going to use to activate it are, you need to be in line. So yeah, if you start for example here and the enemies here a bit difficult, you can still run in. You can run to this cell and maybe put the beacon like dun, 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 here, and then you will activate it as well. But a bit more difficult. I'm going to be simple today, so I'm going to show you. So I'm playing Cloudy. So first turn, let's rush a bit. I will boost myself. I'm going to put Tyrannical. Damn, 800 only with boost and retreat. As you can see here, the enemy is one cell away from the wall. So it's important that we take advantage of this as much as we can, because let's say that you want to use the repulsive. Look, the damage is lower. Why? Because it's going to activate the Tyrannical arrow only once. But if you do this, as the enemy is being transposed and is being pushed and receives pushback damage, the effect is going to apply twice. So you can see double, and then here using the repulsive, it will cause the damage of the repulsive plus the Tyrannical arrow when you do pushback damage. I would like to explain as well basically what is the Tyrannical arrow. So I think that it's important to mention. This description sometimes can be a bit confusing if you are not really into these words, but I will try to explain it a bit plain and simple. So what this basically says is that initially when you apply the Tyrannical arrow, only by applying it you will cause from 13 to 15 fire and air damage. So as you saw in the first turn, that was like 150 only by applying it. But after you apply it, you will have a poison, let's say a poison for 2 turns, which is going to be activated if you cause this, what is saying here, if the target suffers pushback, if it is attracted, push, or transposed. So if the target is attracted, push, transpose, is going to activate the air damage. What is that? So I'm going to do an example. So we have the tactical beacon here. At the moment of applying of casting concentration arrow, the target is going to be attracted. Sorry, I didn't show you the effect of the Tyrannical, but I will show you on the next turn. I'm going to put it here. So if you see, I'm going to apply Tyrannical. Let's have this here. And I'm going to boost as well a bit. If I apply concentration arrow, look at the damage. When I'm casting it, attracting it towards the beacon. If I just hit the push, it's going to be less because it's not the Tyrannical effect there. So yeah, we do this. Also, another example is here. As you can see, it's double damage because we are pushing and doing pushback damage. So yeah, it's both elements that are activated, and the damage is brutal. As you saw, this is a typical thing that a lot of people do. Is like if they want to activate the air damage twice and also the pushback damage twice, fire, sorry, you will put a beacon, you will get it close to you, and then you can do whatever you want. You can either do this, and then it's crazy. The damage is just crazy. So yeah, there are a lot of ways to activate it, but I would say just get into a poutch, start doing combinations, and you will get really familiar. It's not that difficult. I noticed that a lot of people get confused because of the description, because they don't really understand the descriptions, but just straight out, always take a look to the fight information and you will understand why the damage is that damage. So yeah guys, I hope you liked this video. That was all for today. If you learned and this was useful for you, don't hesitate to give me a like and subscribe as well. And see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.